we are approaching that time of year again. A time of great exhilaration, a time of great pleasure, a time of great fear. The darker sides of all crave that latter delight from themselves, but even more so from others. To satiate that hunger, our dark selves take note, interest, and entertainment in tales of the macabre that appeal to our deepest fears as only mortals face. The only way to achieve this is to begin the dark ritual where Nerdporial and a special guest will discuss a particular tale during this season to ward off pure evil, as well as to entertain and to educate. I humbly welcome you to the Serial Horror Chat. And I am live. Everybody, what is up? Welcome to another Serial Horror Chat. Today, I'll be talking about the 1997 Satoshi Kon film, Perfect Blue. And once again, it was one of those things. I wanted to get an anime. I wanted to get an anime into this little series, and I figured, what was the best way to start this? I was thinking, well, I couldn't think of a whole lot of anime horror films. But the one that really stuck out to me was this one, Perfect Blue. And so that was why I wanted to do this. And because I wanted to, that's why I'm here right now. So before we go any further, I want to say hello to the chat. So we got, I don't know who this Brandon guy is. Zombie Main. What's up, Zombie Main? And then we got Full Metal Vash. 7, welcome. Got Dempsey. How you doing? May the Triforce be with you, Harry. Oh. Rest in peace, Hager, by the way, Robbie Coltrane. We got my friend in real life, Brian Anderson. And we got anime expert Shadnatsky. I can't wait to hear your takes in the chat, because I know you're going to be able to answer probably every question. And we got Nosferatu Vampire. What's up? And I think that's pretty much it. And we got Jake D says he can't stay by. So, well, thank you for coming. So, without further ado, I want to introduce my guest, the anime guy himself, Brandon. What is up?
Well, I'll tell you what's not up. My wits. They've been completely and utterly slashed.
There you go.
Oh, man. Small confession time. I just finished watching this movie for the first time ever, and yeah, it's a bit of a mind trip.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And luckily for us, we have Shadnatsky here, who has seen the movie 40 times. And he'll be able to answer any question that we have, because I'm sure I have questions too. I've seen it probably 3 times. First time I saw it, I had no idea what was going on. I couldn't tell what was reality and what was fantasy. And that's what Satoshi Kon is known for in his anime. So, So this was your first time seeing it, really? I thought you saw it before. Honestly,
no, this is one that's been on the list for forever and a day. I've just never had that extra push to get it done and to get it checked out until you said, "Hey, let's talk about this." I'm like, okay, and yeah, it's
did you say you owned the movie, or did you have like just a copy flown somewhere?
Or? No, I don't. I don't have this one. It's one that I need to get, and I do want to get the Blu-ray of it. But,
yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Actually, that's true. So, hey, Brandon, tell us your history. So this is actually my first anime stream. So Brandon, how about you tell us your history with anime in general? We'll start with that.
Oh man,
those terms.
Let's take a trip into the Wayback Machine, back into the very early 90s. where, you know, cable TV is starting to rule. Sci-Fi Channel comes up with their Festival of Animation. I watch it and I'm hooked. And since then, it's been a ride. It's been off and on over the years, but with as bad as Western media has gone, and let's face it, pretty close to everything coming out of Hollywood these days is a subpar to be the most generous. So I decided to get back into anime, and I've just been enjoying it ever since. And out of all the things that I watch, it pretty much takes about 90% of my time now with when I do sit down and actually watch something.
Okay. My question for you is: have you ever seen anything by Satoshi Kon?
Not that I can think of off the top of my mind, but let's take a quick peek at what else he's done.
Oh,
He
I got
did
it right. I got it right here. He did Pat Labor 2. He was, I think, he animated Pat Labor 2. Shinatsky, if I'm wrong, let me know. He did Rojin Z, which is the one with the secret military weapon in the.
he did Rouge and Z.
He didn't direct it. He was
He was an
he did
animator.
it. He was an animator. So
Okay,
um,
okay.
and he also worked on. He also animated one of the JoJo Bizarre Adventure OVAs from the 90s. Not the ones everybody knows now, but the ones from the 90s. So because he did a good job on what he made, the episode that he directed, the producer asked him to adapt Perfect Blue. Here's truly what we're going to be talking about. And what was, Perfect Blue had source material. Perfect Blue was originally a book. I forget the author's name. Shidnosky probably could tell you the name of the author, but the author wrote a script for Perfect Blue. And Satoshi Kon did not like what he saw. It was just a typical slasher. So it was basically pop star girl, changes career, and then stalker guy is not happy that she changed careers and she's losing that innocent image, which is partially covered in the film. So
Yeah.
we have that. So that's pretty much it, except the man, or the character who is known as Uchida or Mimania, is actually the main villain. He actually kills people, whereas in the movie he doesn't. He's just kind of just a stalker guy who is in cahoots with the real villain of the story, who we'll get to in a moment. But that was pretty much what it was. So Satoshi Kon pretty much rewrote it and added all that internalized stuff with the main character Mima, and how she's just starting to lose her sense of reality, and how we the viewer are losing our sense of reality too, because we're trying to figure out what is fantasy and what is real. And once again, like I said, that's what Satoshi Kon is known for. So
Yeah. Well, he really did it with this one. It there for a bit. It was really, it was a big old nine screw, and it did become tough to tell which part of what is actually her real reality versus what is fantasy or in her mind, and the melding of them together is quite astonishing. And from what Shinatsky says, Yoshikazu Takuchi
yeah,
is the one who wrote the book, and he says he has the book.
yeah. I don't know how long ago, but it was translated not too long ago, maybe a decade or so ago. Shinatsky will probably know. But yeah, for a while it wasn't even available. So the fact that Western readers can read it is pretty cool. And a lot
Yes.
more things are coming out from Japan that people can read. Like I have one of the Legend of the Galactic Hero books on my three of them actually on my Kindle right now. I read two of them. So same thing as the animated series. But so you wanna since this is your first time watching it, so you said it was a mindfuck. Do you would you watch it again? Did you like what you saw? I
Yeah,
have
I
to
would
ask.
definitely watch this one again. This is one of those shows that's perfect for this time of year, and just perfect all around. And just looking at a quick biography of Satoshi-san, he's been gone a long time now, and it really
Yeah, I'll put up
it's
his. I'll share the screen. Yeah, he's been gone since 2010. Here. Okay, I have a.
that he has. And I actually just updated my AniList.co with Perfect Blue, and Here's what I wrote about it. The beginnings of the internet in the late 90s, transitioning from music to TV, and things sometimes done to further a career is not worth the price paid. No wonder she starts to have mental breakdowns. And of course, as we see further into it, what she wasn't just seeing it and having the full mental breakdown. She was having the breakdown, but it felt like it was being coerced by the person that did it, almost like she was put into a hallucinogenic state.
Yeah, it was. I think for personally, I think the whole thing started when she first discovered Mima's Room, which is a website that basically talks about her daily life made by a fan. So at first she is giggling and thinks she's giggling and thinks it's cute until they get like they get down to the very detail of what she buys at the grocery store, that it starts to creep her out. And then she gets this and before, oh no, even before that, she gets this fax. I'm wrong right here. Before that, I think this whole thing starts when she gets this fax saying she's a traitor, and she looks down and realizes she's being stalked. She gets a creepy phone call. You hear breathing. Now the question is, when she got that phone call in the beginning, do you think that was Mimania or do you think that was Rumi? Spoiler.
Yeah, yeah. It was different. And looking at it here, let's see here. Yeah, the movie it's amazing how things talked about in the 90s with the tech that we had in the 90s has come to full fruition now. The always on internet culture, the stalker culture, the everything revolving around the internet and and celebrity and the stalking of a celebrity. It definitely was a forerunner to it, and a lot of things depicted in it happen a lot more than everyone probably wants to admit these days.
I mean, it happened even back in as far as 1980. I don't know how much you know about the horror about Friday the 13th, but the girl, the actress that plays the survivor of the first movie was stalked by a guy, and it got to a point where he got into her house and had her at gunpoint. So after that, she decided not to act anymore, and
Yeah.
her role was completely reduced in part two. At least that's the story. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, same idea. And like this was like, I don't even know, like, was otaku a thing in the 80s or 70s? Do you know?
As far as the otaku culture, I'm not entirely sure. I want to say that was more of a thing that really started to kick off in the 90s. If you look at you'd probably have to look at their population trends. When did it really start to really trend down? Probably more in the 90s when it really started to crater.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably when the solitude otaku culture. It was in the 90s. So okay, there we go. That's when it really started to get going or coming over here explained more.
Mm-hmm. See, because here's the thing, I'm a normie when it comes to. I mean, like, I've seen anime.
Yeah.
I've been to conventions here in Chicago. I don't know a whole lot about otaku culture. I mean, I know.
Well, it's more or less.
I know there's some.
My understanding. Yep, my understanding is it's more or less just self isolation. More or less a single male who doesn't want to have anything to do with anything else and can just live his life.
Consuming.
Basically, it's almost, to me, it almost feels like an incel. But as noted here, it was an insult in the 70s to call somebody that, whereas in the 90s it got started to turn on its head and become its own thing. But yeah, basement dwelling weebs.
Basement dwelling weebs. So okay, so would this? Yeah, I was going to ask, would this fall under weeb and waifu or whatever, that particular thing? So weebs
I'm a weeb.
if I remember correctly, weebs are just dudes that are like otakus, and waifus.
Weebs they're just like major. Yeah, they're major anime lovers. But I think this is probably the closest definition, and most likely the correct one. It's a Japanese word that describes people with consuming interests, particularly in anime, manga, video games, computers. Its contemporary use was originated with the 83 essay by Akio Nakamori in Manga Buriko. And that does make a little more sense that it would be something tied with that, because most of these things really, as far as a culture goes, didn't really start to, I would say, completely grasp or engulf a person till those times.
Oh, I see.
So yeah.
Do you know anything about idol culture? Like I know like Korea, South Korea
Oh,
is
it's
really
bad.
big into that stuff currently. I don't know if maybe Japan at one point was the king of it, but now Korea, K-pop is now, I believe, the king
Yeah, they
of.
both have their issues with it. Although I did read BTS, the boys, they are going to serve in the South Korean military for 2 years. But don't worry, they'll have the reunion tour in 2025.
Oh,
Assuming that they haven't been, things haven't gone completely to hell in a handbasket by then,
yeah.
but that's the plan.
So one thing I took away from this movie is that pop stars don't get paid nearly as much as you think they do for all the
No.
performances, for all the heavy scheduling. One thing I like about this movie is they show they show how the sausage is made, pretty much. Like you see like what goes on, behind the scenes for idols, and you also you get to see like just like TV production, because I believe the show, or the I believe Double Bind, I think Double Bind is a TV show instead of a movie within this movie that Mima is acting in. Shinatsky, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming, I think this was a TV series, episode by episode. But yeah, like I've noticed that, like, singers, like people from bands are becoming actors, like that one dude from the One Direction who wears dresses now and sneezes on Chris Pine. That dude? I forget his name. I can't remember his name.
I have no idea because I don't pay attention to any of that stuff.
Neither do I. Of course.
Yeah, it's you want to talk about a culture that I don't get. The Japanese culture in general is vastly different than any Western culture. But I can understand.
Work, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot of work,
and they take
Yeah.
public transportation, and yeah, and it's you're going to be frowned upon if you eat too much, if you're fat. That's another big thing over there. It's brutal.
It is brutal, but in comparison to the whole idea of either J-pop or K-pop or pop idol musicians, I've never understood the fascination with them to begin with. And yes, baby metal is actual metal, and they kick ass. And the members of it that do play it, they're awesome.
What is baby metal? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you got to look it up, because it's
Dempsey.
Probably the best thing ever for one of the best things ever for Japanese metal, besides Anthem. So,
okay. But yeah, so Kon, Satoshi Kon, right here. So he worked on mainly movies, but he did do a series. He did a series called Paranoia Agent. Have you heard of that one? It's the one with the kid with the golden baseball bat. It's like an anthology series where the kid with the baseball bat is basically like a figment of somebody's mind or imagination, and it's like these people are kind of, every episode's about like a different character. It's almost like an anthology series, and it's basically like these people are like broke, like they're having problems at home, they're having problems in their professional life, and they just need a good beating. They're bad. I think a lot of them are bad people, and they just imagine, or maybe this kid's real. This kid that just roller skates and beats them with a golden baseball bat. So that's Paranoia Agent. So, okay, Shinatsky says it's about mass hysteria. Okay, mass hysteria, and of course another great one I really like is Tokyo Godfathers. So Tokyo Godfathers is about three homeless people. One's a young girl. One's a dude with a beard, who are both unlikable, and then you have a third who is trans, who's like a transvestite, and the transvestite is the most likable character in the story. And they find a baby, and it's Christmas time, and there's nothing more to say. It's a beautiful movie, and I do want to cover this at Christmas time. So Tokyo Godfathers. Then we got a movie that Mr. Christopher Nolan kind of stole ideas from for his movie Inception. You ever hear of Inception? I'm sure y'all have
Yep,
heard,
I've heard
all
of
have heard of
Inception.
Inception. All about dreams and dreams and everything. So that's Paprika right here. I have never finished that one. That's a hard one to get through because it's just there's a lot going on in that one. And of course, this other one's is a classic. It's called Millennium Actress. It's basically about an actress who kind of went kind of became a shut-in, kind of withdrew from everything, and we kind of learn her story. Now she's based off of I think she's based off of a few actresses from a few movies in the 50s. I think one being Tokyo Story. I forget the name of the actress, but in this movie, she gets interviewed by somebody, and we learn a bit more about her story and who she longs to meet again. She became an actress so she could find this one individual who she was involved with during the Sino-Japanese War, and she was like a protester or something. So throughout the movie, we're trying to see if we could find this person, and yeah, but that's Millennium Actress. It's another classic.
Wow. Well, it looks like Nerporial just tuck and rolled himself.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button.
You tuck and rolled yourself, man. You tuck and rolled yourself.
I did. My bad. But yeah, I think that it pretty much covers everything. That's basically all of Satoshi Kon's content or work. Sorry, content's a terrible word. Work. And he was making another movie called Dream Machine, which would have been like Paprika, except it would have been more child friendly with robots and nice things, and cool things. And of course, he couldn't finish it, and they couldn't. The producer tried to find people to replace him, and the thing is, you can't replace Satoshi Kon because Satoshi Kon is just that freaking good at what he does. And so the anime, in my opinion, the anime industry took a big freaking nosedive because of his passing. So
yeah,
and look at what we got. I mean, I don't want to be too negative about the stuff that we have now, but nowadays anime all looks the same. Like every character I see, every character design now, I swear I've seen in like 10 other shows, or sorry, 50 other shows now.
That doesn't surprise me too much. Just going through this current season of stuff, about 25 different shows that I'm watching, and they do tend to blend together. And for that, I have to blame using the computer to do your drawings, either doing CGI with cell shading on top of it, or just using it to do your 2D drawings. It loses a little something about it, and it's still good. But if you looking at this show particularly, when we're talking about the technical aspects of it, everything was done, was painted on the cell. You can tell they used very minimalistic changes in the animation when they could. One of the old techniques is yeah, the instead of the Gelato 5 or the Power Rangers, we have the 3 knockoff weirdos. But I noticed that
it's Sentai. It's basically Super Sentai, which was by even in the 90s, it was 20 it was like 22 years old when this movie came out. So that was pretty much an institution from Toei.
There we go, Super Sentai. Yep. But when you actually watch this, I noticed that it's almost, I don't know if it was on purpose or if it's just the way the transfer was. There's always camera movement, even if they're not moving the animation cell itself. There's always just that slight movement of the camera, of the capture camera itself, and that helps generate or give the illusion of movement. So it makes it to where if they're needing to either save some money or if they don't want to have something redrawn, hundreds of times just for a few seconds, when they can just convey that little bit of motion, they'll do that. I saw a lot of different techniques that were used for TV shows within the movie itself. One, to help keep the cost down. The other thing I noticed is the frame rate on this, primarily, especially at the beginning, was a lot lower, closer to a 12 frames a second as opposed to a 24. And then when there's a little more action type sequences, they did bump it up. Yes, very low budget film. It has that, you can tell that it was done on a shoestring budget. But even at that, if you know what you're doing, you can take and use that shoestring budget to the max effect. As I said, having the illusion of movement, panning, basically making one gigantic cell, then panning over it and getting 5 to 10 seconds worth of movement out of it. Those are techniques that have been done for forever and a day, and still in some cases used, of course, in computers, but still done today. And I know there are people out there that don't get it. They don't understand why you're doing this. Why does it feel so cheap? That's just the way they do things. That's the way they've always done things. And to me, it makes it to where they can then focus on the detail of the cells themselves. They don't have to skimp as much on in certain places. They can throw more resources into other places, skimp on the places where they can, and the overall effect is something that is beautiful.
Oh, I totally agree. And I need to shout out Gray himself. Wakizashi has rejoined the Nerdporial Continuum. Welcome, sir. Thanks for stopping by. And of course, think it's you're 14 hours. You're 14 hours ahead. So I'll have to say Ohio gozaimasu. So
yes,
konnichiwa.
So, yeah. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa.
That is too early to say konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Yeah.
And Brandon has rejoined the Nerdporial Continuum. Thank you, Brandon.
Yep. Got to get my shameless plug in there.
So I guess we'll start the breakdown since I got the screen up. So the first thing we see is, of course, we see those Super Sentai guys. I guess that was just there for laughs or everything. I'll be honest. When I first saw this, I was like, "What? Like, what am I? I'm like, am I watching the right thing? I am watching the right thing." But we get these three guys. We get these three guys who kind of like spout off, like, or try to set up Mima by talking about like rumors and stuff. I couldn't help but think of the three old men from Cowboy Bebop. Who were present throughout the series. These guys are kind of present throughout the movie, like in different scenes. Just to give some context to what's going on. Like it's like we hear like they're like the how would I put it? They're like the everyman that's basically commenting on what's going on with Mima and of course what's going on in her situation. Chudnatsky, let me know if I got that right.
Pretty much. Yeah, they're normal fans. They're not the super fans, but they like her. And I've noticed, at least in the English dub of it, that we had they do have some Cowboy Bebop to it. I recognized the voice of hold on, my brain just died.
Spiegel. That was Spike Spiegel. Steve Bloom.
Yep.
That I do know. Bloom. Of course, Shudnatsky got it right away. But yeah, I love, like, I'll be honest, I love Steve Bloom as a voice actor. Like him as Spike, like he's better at it as being Spike, in my opinion, than I forget who his Japanese voice actor was. Because I tried listening to Cowboy Bebop in Japanese. And I usually listen to stuff subbed. Most of the time I watch anime subbed.
It's one that you can't.
Yeah, I can't. Cowboy Bebop is a really rare exception for me not to listen to the dub. And I actually, it's funny. I've watched Perfect Blue originally subbed, so this is my first time rewatching it dubbed. So this was my first time learning that Steve Bloom is the voice of the normal fan in the middle. So there you go. So, but yeah, so we get so let me see. I took a whole bunch of notes right here, 4 pages. So we get the Super Sentai. Okay, so we meet the pop group, and the pop group here is called Cham. Of course, right now they are getting ready. We're seeing how they get ready and everything. Everybody's going crazy. Mm-hmm. Of course, we get the title. Here's Cham. So the middle girl here is Mima, and she's the main character of this story. So right here, they're performing a single, which I played in my opening, and I love how they use the single for the murder that's gonna for the murder that's gonna be taking place in this pretty soon. One thing I like, I don't know if I've heard, one thing I like is how they use, like how some movies and shows will use music, especially really lighthearted stuff, to showcase something or to lead to something that's horrific, like a murder. And
Yeah.
it just messes with your head and makes it kind of changes how you feel. It has that haunting feeling. So when we see the murder, so when I was editing my opening, when they show the murder and then I showed my screen, I made the Angel of the Heart song kind of creep back on a little bit, and then I silenced it for that artistic reason. So I try to be artistic with my editing. I don't just throw shit together, even though most of the time I do. But sometimes I have a method to my madness right there. So but yeah,
So you have a lot more time for editing than I do, so
yeah, I mean, yeah, editing takes a lot of time. So so here we get the pop star stuff, but then it cuts to Mima going home. We're seeing her just going about her daily life. And of course, she's by herself. She's at the grocery store. She likes to buy milk and other things. And she goes home. And of course, we cut back to the concert, and they're still performing. But then they make an announcement. They make an announcement that she is going to be leaving the group. So Mima is going to be leaving the group so that she can become an actress. I don't think she says this directly, but the fans were not happy. And of course, we had these hooligans trying to start a fight. And of course, they get into a fight with this guy right here, Uchida, or also known as Mimania. And we get this pretty creepy.
The creeper.
He's the creeper. We get this pretty creepy shot right here. So I believe he's the security guy. Shinatsky, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Uchida is the security guy here. That's why he's in the front, and he has his hand up. And from his point of view, we see Mima. Okay, here it is. So he's holding his hand up to his eye like this, and then he has come on, hurry up. All right, so we have it right here. So it's like she's dancing in his grasp, like she's in it. She's in the palm of his hand right here, and it's just freaking creepy right here. Like, what if he decides to close it? What would happen? And that's what the original book was going to be, or what the original book was about. So, but yeah, but like, I believe it or not, when I first watched this, I thought he was the bad guy. Like, doesn't
he has all the, yeah, he has all the looks of a complete and total creeper, including the absolutely terrible teeth. That's the one thing that I don't think that they are really known for, is having super bad teeth. He has really bad teeth. He's fugly as hell. And
he's not fat. He's not fat, but yeah, he's
not fat, but he's just yeah, he's really ugly.
But his face, oh my, and he's an animated character, so we can get away with making fun of how he looks. So
yeah,
please don't hurt us. Please don't do anything to us. So yeah, so here he's I believe he's trying to I think he's telling them this to knock it off. Then
he gets punched. He gets his ass whooped.
Yeah, they're trying to throw shit at her. And of course, these guys are the hooligans. Well, we find out what happens to this particular guy later. But then it gets to a point where they start, like, everybody is pissed. Like, everybody in the audience is pissed at what they're doing, to the point where they're all throwing shit at each other. And of course, the producer, her agent, Mr. What was his name? Tadakoro, was like, we're going to cancel this thing. And then she's just like, please stop. I want us to have a good time on my final thing. And those guys are still jerks and everything. And I think they get let out or something. And they continue.
No, they leave.
Yeah. And here's Rumi right here. So there's Rumi, and this is Tadakoro. So I always thought the agent and the manager were the same, but in this movie, they're not. So I'm guessing
Yeah.
the agent is really that one that goes to like, kind of goes to like, other, bodies and, gets her work. Like he's pretty much responsible for getting her the part in Double Bind. Whereas I think Rumi is just kind of there to make sure that she's on schedule, that she's, ready for her shows, that there's nothing, that nothing goes wrong. And if there is something that goes wrong, she's got to be there to fix it. Whereas the agent, I think, takes care of like, goes outside and, does like negotiating with outside parties with anything regarding her. I think I don't know anything about.
Okay, here's what
agents
Shinosky
or-
says. The one guy, Rumi, is the music agent, and Takuro is the film TV agent. That makes sense. She wanted her to stay more the pop idol, and as we witness further in, we see, yeah. It's so hard not to spill the beans because now that I've seen it, it all makes sense. But yeah, okay, keep going.
Yeah. So okay, but because the one thing you see is that they're arguing. So Rumi and Tadakoro are arguing about Mima's future. And of course, Mima's kind of like this. So she's she's only 21 or 22 years old. So she's
very young.
She's still wet behind the ears. She doesn't know exactly what she wants to do, and that kind of pointed to me that she feels like she's not in control of her own destiny at this point. Like she's basically depending on these two to do things, and she just doesn't seem, she's very of course insecure about her future. And of course that all manifests itself in what she sees and what she's asked to do. So we have that. So
well, little extra exposition here. Shinosky says that Rumi is an ex-pop idol, so that explains a few extra little things.
That explains what goes on later in the movie. But yeah, and the thing was, I missed it when I first couple times I watched it. I missed that dialogue, so you have to really pay attention. So it's like Nosferatu said earlier, you have to pay attention. This is one of those movies where every detail counts, and that's why Satoshi Kon's movies are great. And plus, there's just a level of detail in the picture. Like there's the what do you think of the character designs? Like how more Japanese they look as opposed to
very 90s.
Yes,
it's very 90s in the look for everything. All the character designs.
Look how Japanese they look. Like right here, you know right here that this is in Japan. Whereas you watch something like G Gundam and you have Domon Kashu, who is supposed to be representing Japan. He doesn't look quite Japanese because he doesn't quite look Japanese. He just looks like an anime, like a typical anime character. That is Japanese. That would usually be Japanese. So, but yeah. By the way, this is the producer of that show, and this is the chief writer. Chief writer. Well, let's just say things don't quite go his way later in the movie.
Well, it's interesting that everyone around her, as far as the things that she keeps getting asked to do, as I said at the beginning or in my on my Annulus.co notes that I wrote, she keeps getting asked to do things that further and further can take your soul down into the depths of despair and hell. When you start off as a pop idol, very crisp, pure, clean, and then you decide to switch to to TV and movies, they started asking her to do some stuff that really goes against the whole clean cut ideals that she had originally set herself up for. And I think when she decides to do those things, I do think it really does take a toll on her mentally. It really did.
Yeah, and that's pretty much once she agreed. So I know we're getting far ahead of ourselves. So here, so right here we got. So she gets back home. She just she starts the bath and everything, puts her stuff away, and then what we hear the news. I like how there's stuff in the movie that it just makes this world feel alive. So we hear the news about earthquakes in Japan, which is nothing new. Especially, I think, was it 2012 that there was that massive earthquake that really shook the foundations of the country, and they made a freaking
Yeah, I
anime
think that
based
one
off of
was.
it called Tokyo. I think it was called Tokyo Magnitude 5.0 or something. Shidnatsky, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But she gets, but first she gets a phone call. So she gets a phone call and she hears heavy breathing. So right away you think of, obviously you think of, when you think of heavy breathing and horror, who do you think of? You think of Michael Myers in the original Halloween, because you hear that breathing like it's like there's none tomorrow, and like you hear the breathing, you know he's present somewhere. And there's actually a point where he actually is on the phone with Jamie Lee Curtis. So, but the other thing I was thinking of was it was typical slasher trope to have the killer call, and either the killer was somewhere outside or the killer was in the house. So I also thought of, When a Stranger Calls, where the killer was in the house. Same with Black Christmas, another one where you have just a creepy guy calling, saying, obscene things, obscene phone calls. It became so tropey, it was just ridiculous. So here you go. But she gets a call, she hangs up, goes back and talks to her mother. But then she gets this creepy little
Read my
text here.
facts.
Yeah, and I believe it translated to traitor. So that's what I put in my opening. So apparently some people are not happy with the fact that she's leaving Cham. So we get this iconic shot of her looking out the window. Let me see if I can get it right. Okay, that's too far. There we go. So we get this iconic shot of her looking out the window. It's like, there's something, somebody's out there working against her. Somebody's out there stalking her. Okay, so that was the takeaway from this shot, and I believe this was a great shot. I don't know, what do you think? Did you like the shot?
Yeah, there's a lot of the shots that were set up in this are very reminiscent of Alfred Hitchcock in a lot of ways.
Yeah, especially here when you're looking far away, you would think of Rear Window. And Rear Window was a unique movie where you paid attention from far away. People that were living. There was a movie about people living just like across the street or across the alley, and you're watching people from far away doing things. You can't hear them, so it's almost like a silent movie, especially when Jimmy Stewart is using the blindfolds and basically peeping on everybody. Voyeurism, as they call it, which is something Hitchcock did to the ladies quite a bit, creepily enough. So but yeah, like here, man, same thing here. Just stalking and voyeurism. It's pretty crazy. And what does Chernowski say? So the movie is how you use and have surprise. Yeah, exactly. Cliches. Like you were expecting a typical slasher, like the original novel was. Nope. And if you pay attention, it leads to the apartment at the end. Oh, really? Cohn was a big film buff. Yeah, apparently he read. He basically he was a big Western. He was like a lot of other animators in Japan. He was a big Western fan, but he was also big into classic Kurosawa, and of course the anime of the 70s. So yeah, he had I basically, from what I read, he was big into a whole bunch of stuff, and he used all of his experience and everything that he took in to make his own unique creative vision. So all right, so here we get, I believe we go, now we're into, so we're seeing the inside of, now we're seeing the inside where she's performing. So Mima is now acting in this series called Double Bind. It's a psychological crime thriller drama thing. And yeah, so she gets, she basically takes this fax and gives it to Rumi. And of course, Rumi is dismissive of it. She's like, "Oh, it's just typical. It's just typical fans. I wouldn't worry about it." You'll understand why she is dismissive of it later. But then we get the quote, that we get the one line. So she was only tasked with saying one line. Do you remember what that line was, Brandon?
Oh, excuse me.
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so her first acting gig is not exactly what she was probably thinking it would be, but definitely better than some. And of course, the one guy, her one agent's like, "Hey man, can you give her more lines? She's really good. You need to give her more lines."
Let me see if I can find that. Okay, there she is sitting there, sitting pretty. Everybody, it gives you good insight into what it's like to be in the film industry, or be in the television industry for that matter. Okay, so there's the producer guy in the very corner. And of course, this is the writer guy right here. And this is the lead actress. And she's like, oh, what's going to happen to so-and-so character? He's like, oh, I can't tell you that. Okay, so this is the producer guy. This is the director, writer, head writer. And of course, this is the moment you were talking about right here. So this is Tadakoro begging them to give her more stuff. And they're like, we don't know. She's a pop star. She's not an actress. And they're like, oh, come on, give her a chance. And of course, they were there to deliver fan mail. So they delivered a whole bunch of fan mail to the lead actress. But then this one right here is meant for Mima. So of course, being the good agent, he opens the mail first. And then the mail explodes. Now, this was 1997, so you're kind of wondering, this was after the Unabomber was caught. So who did it? So, I mean, seriously, like it's crazy. So here it blows up, but fortunately he's okay. He's just he's wounded. I assume they take him to the hospital. One thing we do not see in this movie at all, Brandon, we don't see police at all. Did you notice that?
No, we don't see police in this one.
Any police whatsoever. So yeah. Red is dead. I was thinking Zed's dead. Who's Zed? Zed's dead, baby. Pulp Fiction. All right. Yes. So here
look at that. Okay, now this is a bit of the nerd side of me. I remember both with fond love and disdain for the all-in-one Crapintoshes of the time. It's funny because the box that they had actually had the English naming of it on there, the Mac Performa, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. But yes, gotta love the old Apple product placements.
Okay, so Shadnatsky says, seriously, pay attention to the use of red in this movie. Okay. So here we have some red. We have some red right here. One thing I did notice, and I discussed this on my Jaws stream, was that Spielberg wanted only the usage of red when there was like blood involved, when there was something really bad going on. So, all right, well, I'll have to keep that in mind here. So Shanatsky says to pay attention to the use of red. So we have some red here. And so right here, Rumi is setting up Mima in her apartment with a computer and this thing called the internet, the thing that was invented by Al Gore. Whoops. Yeah, well, he did say it. He did say at one point. So, but so yeah, so we get this nice little thing. She's like, I don't know how to use it. What is a double clip? No, double click. What's a double clip?
I thought she said something nasty, but that wouldn't come until later.
No.
But yes, the old Macintosh Performa. The old days.
I used to play, the game. I think I first played. It wasn't the OS, but it was like I first played a Macintosh or used a Macintosh in like computer lab. I think in like first grade or something, 91, 92. Mm-hmm. And only thing I remember was playing. Only thing I remember playing was Number Munchers on that machine. Remember You ever play Number Munchers?
I remember Number Munchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, my the school that I went to for grade school, the computer lab was a ton of old Apple IIs. And we had Number Munchers, we had Carmen Sandiego.
Oh yeah.
We had
Oregon Trail.
Yep, the old Oregon Trail.
You have died of dysentery.
Yes, we have. But I do remember the Mac version of it. The library we had the actual updated Macs, and they had the CD-ROM version of it, and it quite impressive.
Product placement right here. See, you even have the nice little
Yep.
logo right here, the Apple
Oh,
logo.
and what's the web browser? Netscape Navigator.
I
Now,
remember.
for those that
I thought it was
are not old enough to remember, that was one of the first web browsers that you could get. It pretty much was Netscape or nothing. Till MicroSquash came in and bundled Internet Explorer with everything.
Hey, I thought it was Nerf or nothing. I didn't know it was Netscape or nothing too.
Yep, Netscape. Or as I call it, Netscrape.
Netscape. I remember Netscape being called Netscape Communicator. Or maybe that
Yep,
was a
Netscape
later.
Communicator, Netscape Navigator,
Okay.
and eventually, forked off into Firefox after all those years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she moved her little TV so she could make room for the computer.
Yeah. So we got. And one thing we did notice earlier that is very important at the end of the movie, she takes down her Cham poster. So she had her Cham poster earlier. She took that down. So that's something that's very important later. But here, so she gets like a letter. She gets a fan letter directing her to this website called Cham's Room, where it talks about like her detail of her day and everything. And she finds it cute at first, like I said earlier, but then it gets to a point where it gets super detailed to the point where she's like, how do they know this? Like, especially the fact that she prefers cow's milk in her refrigerator. She's like, what is going? She is like, look at that right there. What is that going on?
Yep.
And you see red right here, as Shadnatsky would as Shadnatsky would say. And I like how it transitions. It transitions like with the curtain right there. So you have the curtain go like this, and then it goes like this. I thought that was pretty. I as an editor, I appreciated that little thing right there. So now we're back in the the story within the story, or the show that she's acting in. So they talk about we hear the "excuse me, who are you" thing, I think, again. And let me see, I'm on page 2 now in my notes. Let's see. So we find out she's only in 3 shots. So they're having a meeting, they're watching the show, and I like the look. You look at the look right here, you tell it's like they're watching it from a TV right here. And of course we see like a murder going on, and of course they're here, and they're not of course her agents are not happy that she was only in 3 or 4 scenes in like the whole episode. So I think that's where they try to they're curious if this whole thing's even worth it. And of course Rumi right there just wants her to go back to being an idol, and he's just like, I don't know what to do right here. So but one thing that we do learn right here is that and they're smoking and everything. Remember when people used to smoke all the time?
Yep, I remember.
That's a cool poster. That's a cool little thing that we drew for that. But here we learn that after she left, they became her group Cham became number 1. So those 2 girls by themselves became not number 1, sorry, in the top 100. So there you go. Red lipstick, red pearls. Where? Okay, we got the red shirt there. Let me see. So on Rumi, are you talking about Rumi? Well, she got red lipstick. What red pearls? Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so here we get another scene of these 3. Not him. We get another scene of those 3 guys right here. So they're in a video store, and they're talking more about Mima's career and where it's going. And it looks like they're not even happy about it. Looks like they're not even happy about it either. And of course, then we get another creepy shot of a creepy guy. Let me see if I can find him.
Yeah, the creeper with the video.
Let me see. I get it.
Yeah, there he is.
So I don't like
the creeper.
He's looking, and he's just like, oh, I'm not happy with this. this is not right. She should not be losing her innocence, because I think that's the big thing about this was like some people it's according to the producer, according to Satoshi Kon, and of course according to the original source, the source material, this was basically like, certain fans not accepting the changes being made to, idols or people that they really look up to, idols that they look up to. And I have a question for you, Brandon. Do you think that applies to the culture war with how things are changing? I can kind of connect it, but at the same time, I don't.
That's a tough one to answer. It's not something I've really thought about recently. But then again, being so tied into anime recently, I haven't paid much attention to what's going on in our country with some of that stuff anymore. I just stopped caring. And let's see. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, so Creeper, as Shanatsky pointed out, doesn't have any red on him.
Yeah,
there's no red on him.
That basically means, I'm guessing that means he's harmless. Well, I mean, not he doesn't. I mean, he's not harmless, but he's doesn't kill anybody in this movie.
Yeah,
he does some bad shit. He does do some bad shit, and we'll get to that pretty soon. But yeah,
here's the thing, though: does he actually do that, or was it all in her mind? That's something that I couldn't tell for sure, as if he actually started to do that, or if she was thinking it because she saw him and was trying to put two and two together with all the stuff going on and him being the culprit as opposed to the other way around.
And we got Salty here, says,
hello, Salty.
I thought Nerporio was going to bring sexy back, but you already did. It's true.
That's
Brandon
right.
Brandon did bring back the sexy. So yeah, so here we get so here we start seeing some of so we see Mima looking at some fans who are looking at her in a magazine, and she starts getting a little paranoid, and she starts thinking back to the Mima's room that she noticed on the computer. So she starts running off the train towards her the office, towards her producer's office right there. And yeah, she's once again, this kind of shows that she's in front of, there's a lot of eyes on her. And I like how this show the TVs right here kind of, make that clear to the audience. And okay, that went too far. So she runs into a building. She gets into an elevator. She's accosted by the paparazzi or whatever. And of course, who's right next to the paparazzi. This was a pretty creepy one right here. Let's see. No. Come on. Where is this?
So hard finding the spots that you need
Here
to
it
find.
is.
Oh, the creeper is back.
And he's smiling. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's an evil smile, or if that's just, or if she still has her innocence at this point. But she didn't do the scene in question yet. So we're gonna get to that. But
yeah,
before that, they showed some detail. If you look at the wall and they zoom in, this right here, this shot right here is oof. But we get a shot of a flyer. So we see that, you see the flyer right here in the background? That's the hooligan dude that was throwing shit earlier and that punched Mimania in the face. We find out that he was the victim of a hit and run, and he's in critical condition. He's not dead. He's in critical condition. What do you think might have been the culprit of said?
I wonder.
Run? And he's still alive. So to go with what Shadnatsky says about the color red, maybe it's Uchida himself, the creeper. But yep, here's Rumi again. She finds out that Cham is doing really well, and that we find out here that Mima has to. We find out that her next part is going to be, she's going to be raped. She's going to be doing a rape scene.
Yep, and the graping.
Yeah,
That's that's where everything really truly goes wrong for her. Choosing to, you know, that's one thing I've never understood about a lot of actors or actresses being so willing to participate in, even though they're mostly, we'll say mostly, quote unquote, simulated scenes of sexual fantasies and or the fruit variety. I've never understood the ability to do that or why anybody would even want to do that. It makes no sense to me because we see in this when she decides that's when her manager convinces her that that's the step that she needs to take in order to get to where she wants to go, it breaks her.
Yeah.
And that's where that psychological break is what gets taken advantage of. And that's where what's the other characters, the former pop idol, that's the music manager person, what's her name again?
Rumi.
That's where she is able to take advantage of her because you could see that it also broke her. That's where everything starts to take the turn and starts to go down the rabbit hole of what is real, what is not. Because it not only, it breaks them both.
So I want to read Salty's $2 super chat. Thank you, Salty. You are awesome. He says, I only want to know, were there hot anime boobs?
Well,
you would not believe. They don't just show that. They show everything. There's a photo shoot that happens in this movie, and we see pictures of it all. They're very quick, but they show everything. Everything.
She goes Marilyn Monroe. Yeah.
Yes. So here's the writer right here on the screen, and he's talking to, I believe, the producer guy, and he's like, "Yeah, we're doing this rape scene right here, and that's what's going to lead her character down a dark path." And of course, she's reading the script right now. They are not happy about this, especially Rumi, and it gets to a point. Rumi is super duper livid about this. And what's his name is Tadakuro is just like, this is necessary. And so here, this is where we get a nice little, we see Mima's face. She has her head down and pretends to agree. So obviously there's a lot of subtext in this scene right here. Obviously she doesn't want to do it, but because, she doesn't want to, she's willing to, we find out that she really didn't want to disappoint her managers. And she didn't have the courage enough to really speak out. So that's why she pretended to agree and be okay with it when she really wasn't. And like you said, because she really wasn't, it led her down that path. And she starts to see, once she agrees to this, we get this manifestation we see a manifestation of her champ. So right here, she's, you could tell she's just, she's faking her thing. But right here, actually in this very moment, she sees a reflection of her idol self, and I think her idol self calls her a whore or something.
Yep, backed up to about right there. Go ahead and press play. Nope, we gotta back it up. A little too far.
Okay, maybe that was too far too.
Little bit more. There we go. A little bit more. Oh wait.
Here, yep. Right here.
There it is.
This is where she spills it right there. Oh yeah, and they do bring up Jodie Foster. That Jodie Foster had to do something similar. I'm assuming they were referencing. Well, I don't know what they were referencing. The first thing I thought was Taxi Driver.
I know what they're referencing. Hold on just one second. Let me find it.
So I don't think there was a rape. I mean, she just played a hooker, like a 13-year-old hooker. But
there's a movie that she did a long time ago. I think this is it. Is it The Accused? But anyways, there was a movie that she was in where she played a character that was that was raped, tried to move on from it, and eventually has everything brought back up when she finally agrees to go to the cops and and try to testify against it. And it was a pretty brutal scene from what I remember. It
Okay, I don't
wasn't.
think I've ever seen. I've never heard of this one. So okay,
Well,
everybody's saying The Accused, Salty, Peter
yeah.
Venkman, and yeah. So the one thing that Shadnatsky didn't answer, we love you, Shadnatsky. You're awesome. You've been really helpful in pointing all this shit out.
Thank you,
I
sir.
want you. I do want you on for another anime talk. You'd be someone perfect to talk to about all this. So, and look, another creepy shot. So this is, I believe, she's filming. They're filming the rape scene now, and we don't even quite see the face. So Uchida's face is veiled in darkness. We don't see his eyes. So that's
I think the whole purpose behind that is he's now witnessing her lose herself, and he's not pleased about the turn that she's taking.
Oh no, absolutely not. He's super duper upset. He's shocked by what he has to see, and of course they're showing this. Of course, she's being taken. This is a set of a strip club. She's being taken advantage of. They beat up the owner who tries to defend her, and it gets to a point. They're watching this. Rumi ends up crying as a result of what they are forced to do. Here they're holding her down, and the thing is, the director cuts and they make him hold position. Whoa, like that's crazy when you think about it. And the actor is saying, "I'm so sorry." The actor who was on top of her is just like, "I'm so sorry." It's just so ridiculous, right? Like about it's just so ridiculous. And of course, let me see. Yeah, so the helpless position. They cut to the helpless position. They have to get another take. They have to do another take because the guy couldn't unzip. The guy couldn't unzip, so they had to do another take. And of course, that's when Rumi cries and leaves the room. And of course, we find out how much of a toll it's actually taking on Mima right there. Jeez, I don't want to. Yeah, so look at this.
It does take its toll.
Even if it's acting, it's crying. She's in the room all by herself, and it gets to a point where like her film manager feels so guilty about this. He takes her out. He was going to say something, but then he kind of goes back and just says, "Hey, let's go out. I'll treat you to a very nice dinner for this." So, and of course, she gets back home. So here she. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, everything about this, as I said, it goes back to the whole thing of why would an actor or actress agree to do something so soul sucking as that? That even with it being quote unquote simulated, it has to really mess with your mind. And as I said, that was the point where it breaks her mentally. And it also breaks Rumi. It breaks them both. It breaks everyone. Are you there? Did we die? The internet connection go poof? Well, looks like I'm here. Looks like we're still live, but it looks like our friend the Nerdporial, his internet connection decided to go and be unkind to him. Yeah, he got caught in the temporal rift. This scene was so incredibly tough that it broke our friend Perfect Blue Nerdporial. It broke us. And now once again I am alone in here. So, as I mentioned, that was the point where everything really starts to take its toll and goes downward. The downward spiral begins, where she can't figure out what is real, what is not. Everything starts to blend together. And then throughout this, eventually, people around her start to die. The first one being the script writer who did the script for her, that made the script specifically to get the most out of her, probably in more ways than one. And the exception was taken to that, and he died in a most painful way, from what I remember. Oh, I wish I had the ability to share a screen, because I'd bring that up there, but it's it really is a rough one. Let's see here. Too many people, anyways, in Jaws 2022. Jaws 2022. Let's eat them for the hell of it. Yeah, I do believe. Peter Venkman fan site. Any show that's going to do scenes, nudity, grape scenes, any of that type of shit, they now have to have. I don't remember what the term is for it, but it basically has to pass through multiple layers or multiple people before it actually gets filmed. Whereas in years past, it was, yo ho ho, that's as real as possible, and feelings and consequences and psychology be damned. But moving forward with this, the screenwriter that wrote it, he ends up, he feels like someone's stalking him. He ends up in an elevator. You see the elevator close, and then it opens again, and you see that his eyes have been stabbed out, and 70% of his body stabbed. So he didn't die very, very easily. Then moving forward past that, they decide that the next step for her career is to have a photo shoot done. And not just your standard, glamour shots with Ellie. No, it turned out to be more of the, let's say, an in-between between the Playboy and Penthouse variety. Not what I would consider very lewd, but definitely very nude. Ah, you have returned.
Yeah, same thing happened to me last week when I did the Jaws stream. I got cut off. And
what the hell?
Computer. Yeah, my computer did that last time too. So I am sorry. I'm sorry, chat, for this happening again. Nosferatu, I failed you as a godporial. I'll just say that. But yeah, thanks for sticking and thanks for sticking around. And Brandon, I appreciate you holding the weight of the stream under your hands until I return. So what
absolutely.
Are we talking about?
Well, let's see. Shit. Let's see. I talked about the writer dude getting his comeuppance for the scenes that he wrote for her and the way that he died. Most grisly indeed.
Ooh,
and just starting to talk about the photographer and the photo shoot, the spread that happens. And Shanatsky brought it up earlier. In anime, typically, and in most things with them, the way they censor things is a little weird. To show the nether region hair is typically a big no-no within anime. If you go back and look at like the original Tenchi Muyo OVA with Ryoko, yeah, Ryoko, they don't mind showing her buck ass naked, but you never when they show the nether region, there's no hair. With this one, they broke that and they showed it. You could tell it was pencil drawn and all that. Not heavily detailed, but still having that was,
I don't want to show that.
As Shanatsky put it, it definitely broke a mold. But it also further, once again, when we're talking about when you start going down this path and doing these things, how much damage it do to your soul and to your psyche. Yes, he hears the radio. He goes into there, and you can see it's red. It's red.
Yes, that's right. Shanatsky again. But yeah, this part, when you hear the music far away, you can hear it far away. I loved it. I just love that creepy. The killer's playing the music far away. I forgot what other they've done this in other movies where they've played music. and it just creepily got closer and closer and closer.
Yeah.
And then you see the boombox here, and of course, then you get the coup de grace right here.
Go ahead and play it. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got killed.
He got right. He got into
up.
both eyes. Now this all happened off screen. We don't see exactly how it went down, but it went down. But we do get to see how it went down for the next victim right here. So
yes, and the red pizza box. I guess we'll have to see that when it comes up. But yeah, I was. He got killed. He got dead.
Yes,
and of course they're all like, "Oh man, he died. What do we do now?"
Mm-hmm. And so I think this is where she goes through the photo shoot right here, and this photographer is really good at getting people to right there, getting people to strip down naked, and then she right here in the room, is having another moment right here, and she sees her her sham self or her idol self calling her shit. And while this is going on, he's out there. I think they're showing. Oh, so here we have another show.
Yeah, he was recording Cham doing their thing, and he's envisioning her up there with them, which is in his mind is where her proper place should be. That's what she should be doing.
Okay, so that was an interesting. So this was something I was thinking about. I was like, did Rumi? Because for a second I thought I wasn't sure if this was all in his mind, or if like Rumi actually went up there and performed with them, because there's a point, if you look closely, look how concerned, look at their facial expressions right here. They look like something awkward is going on. And so it's fun just to think that what if, and I'm sure it's not the case, but what if Rumi actually got up on stage in her middle-aged her middle-aged look, doing that in front of everybody. I mean, obviously it wasn't, because nobody reacted. Like everybody, the audience would have reacted strongly to that, but it would have been really funny if that was the case right here. But obviously it's not. Like you said, it's all in there. It's all in his mind, all in Uchida's mind. But the question is, why do they still look like this? Is it just, you think, lack of confidence, maybe? The fact that they don't have their main singer?
Well, Panotsky's saying that Rumi did go on stage. You see the outfit she's wearing. It's a mix of fantasy and reality. I'm going to have to watch this again, and I'm going to have to really get my eyes doubly glued onto this, because the way that I saw this is exactly how you're describing it. I was seeing it through the stalker weirdo guy's eyes. He was recording them, seeing them, and envisioning her still there as she should be, at least in that particular outfit.
Because like the thing is, it wouldn't work. I mean, it'd be funny if Rumi did, but the thing is, the audience would have reacted. The audience would be like, "Ew, get off the stage! What are you doing?"
You'd think so.
You think so,
but they can be very overly polite.
Oh, the one thing that they established is they're not overly polite. You got your share of hooligans in the you have your share of hooligans in the stream. So yeah. But there you go. So but I thought this was pretty funny right here. And I forget, what is this right here? So yeah, I think this is where this is after the photo shoot, and Darren Aronofsky in Nosferatu. What's the name of that movie again? Like, I wrote it down. Wait, they copied the shot, and I think it was Black Swan, or was it Requiem for Dreams? One of these two movies. They literally copied this particular shot where someone's in the bathtub and they're just down like this, and then the fun thing she says is, "You bastards." Because I don't think she meant.
Don't. Good night, everybody. It's been fun.
Yeah, my bad. My bad. But yeah, so we get.
Yeah, Zach's got it. Oops.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. So yeah, so here we have this. She's saying, of course, idol Mima again. Let me see if I can get to the Oh yeah, she starts having a series of dreams. So this is where I was curious. Like, so she chases her. So she's in the office and she chases her idol right here, her idol self. And notice how she's like, she glides, she skips. We used to do that in wrestling. We used to run around the mat and then we'd skip, we'd cherry pick. Believe me, that was really good exercise. But yeah, skipping like that, yeah. And we do get to see that. We do get to see that later. But one thing I did like was that you're asking, like, does Rumi skip? And you see in the reflection. So they show a shot of her, and we see a reflection of her chasing. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but we see a reflection of her chasing Mima, and you see her, because she's middle aged and maybe overweight. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm being fat phobic here. Just typical.
For the Japanese, she's overweight. Yes. There are two ways around it. She is.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. There we go.
But I think that
she's a She-Hulk writer.
So do you think this whole thing here was a dream? Because she like literally wakes up. So like she runs into the street. She's about to get hit by a truck that's being driven by Mimania. And she wakes up. So you think that whole segment in the building where she's chasing herself, her idol self.
It sure looked like it. It sure felt like it.
It's so trippy. And like then she wakes up, and of course, Rumi's over. They have tea and cake.
She's always over each and every day.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't put two and two together.
She like literally says, "I haven't seen you in a while," and then we get another shot of this. So I think there were two takes that they took underneath this stairwell. And of course, both times we see just him staring at her, and she gets creeped out by this. Mima gets creeped out, and then she wakes again. Look at this; she just wakes again. So you're like, what is real, what is not? And that's the beauty of that's the beauty of this right here. And of course, Chudnatsky here says it's a dream where this is where Kon is having fun. Yeah, this is what Kon is. This is his speciality. If he was a Jedi, he'd say that this was his speciality.
Yep.
So we get this here that I think she breaks one of her. Her mental state is such a low right now that she breaks her teacup with her bare hands. So we get to see some blood right there, some red, and of course she's looking at Mima's room. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So he's watching. So this is a photographer dude, and he's watching the show. He's watching Double Bind. And
play it. Oh, play from here. We can get away with her. We can get away with 20 seconds.
All right. So here's the red. Here's the red pizza, and the pizza delivery guy is wearing red. But unfortunately, the delivery guy. Well, shit. All right, so delivery guy drops the pizza.
Drops the pizza.
You're a weird pizza delivery guy. So you know what? Don't even pay
attention.
Pick it up and right in the eye. And he doesn't respond for like 2 seconds. He's just like, he stops and he's like, oh, and he's like 1, 2, oh, and then he's just like running into the This is so brutal. It's so brutal. This is really the only kill scene that we get in this movie is this right here. I mean, we saw the other guy get killed, but he was killed off screen.
Yeah.
So here we actually see it, and we see how it happens. Body bag pizza. Is that what it was called? Really? It was called body bag pizza? Holy shit. Holy shit. Wow. That is crazy. And look at all this red right here. Look at all this red. And we get one right in the groin right there. Oh my gosh. So he's got one in the eye. He's completely blind. He probably has some brain damage because of how deep it went. And yeah.
It wasn't body bag, it was big body pizza.
Oh, big body. Body bag was
I could see them saying, "You fat Americans, You eat big body pizza.
Big body. I think big body pizza is just Japanese for a certain insecurity that the Japanese may be known for. I'm not going to say what it is. Brand, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yep. Being
something protruding.
Fat.
Oh, that too. That too. Of course.
She says I have a chance, and it's pretty fat. Oh yeah, no, the stabs. The stabbity stabs.
Yep.
Oh, look, a machine.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we get this iconic shot. Let me see. I wanted to show the hands. I showed the hands in the opening, but here we see.
Yeah, just play from there.
What looks like Rumi doing it, and I don't want to show anymore. There's going to be more flashes of a certain type of thing.
Oh, I see what you mean. I missed that.
Yeah. So as we're doing as she's stabbing him, we get really quick edits of her breast. We get edits of her her thingamajig, with pencil drawn follicles.
The whatchamacallit.
The whatchamacallit. There you go. And so the thing that this is red herring here. See, I said red. Shitnatsky. Red herring. So here we're led to believe that maybe Mima is the killer.
Yeah.
Did that ever cross your mind that maybe Mima is the killer based on?
Well, yeah. She's in a show.
Stabbing?
Yeah, she's in a show where this basically what the show is portraying is being carried out. I can see a psychological break where a person ends up doing that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So so that's pretty much this really brutal scene. And I'll be honest, I didn't even remember that it was the photographer when I first watched this movie. Like I didn't even remember who that was. I just saw just violence right there. So let me see. So yeah, nude shots. Jam self pursues her. Jam is on ear on the radio. Shoots scene in the rain. Okay, yeah. Oh, got pretty far ahead. Photographer gets murdered. All right, I wrote that down. Oh, but then the next scene. So the next.
Lord.
Oh my God. This is going to.
Well, off to the editing room with this one.
Yes. It's gonna be. And the thing is, I can only edit like one thing at a time. It takes like a whole day for YouTube to edit.
It does.
So this happened to me once. Like I was bringing a whole bunch of people on for Better Call Saul, and someone decided to, because I put the link in the chat, something I probably should not have done. And a troll decided to, take advantage of that. And so when I put in, when I clicked the link or something, or I clicked them to enter the stream, it was just a picture of, either, it was something heterosexual porn and something homosexual porn. So I was like, I had to do it twice. So.
Oh, well, considering some of the other stuff on there, that's probably the worst thing in this website.
Mm-hmm.
I can think of a lot worse things.
Yeah. So here, so it's pretty much a wrap right here. So everything went well. Everybody's happy. I guess having a grueling, I just having a grueling, just working for the TV industry or working for entertainment, Hollywood, or in this case, Japanese television, super grueling. So when you're done with the project, everybody's fucking happy. Like the people are clapping and everything. It just goes to show you it's a tough industry. So I guess it seems like the producers are happy. The producer's happy with her, and she's still kind of at a low. And she decides to go. They have her go change, and here we meet Mimania. Mimania shows his true colors right here, and he begins his assault. This is pretty much exactly. I think this is the set where they have the this is the scene. Where they have the scene, yeah. And so he's just like, what does he say? What does Mimania say?
I don't remember what he says.
He basically reenacts the rape, seeing a knife point. She tries to run. he tries to stab her, and he tries to, grape. He tries to grape her, but then she hits him. I always thought she. Oh shit! Not again. Again.
Boobies.
Yeah. So she hits him in the head with. So she hits him in the head with a hammer, or a mallet, or a prop. She hits him with a prop and knocks him out. So here, I thought she killed him, but apparently that's not the case, because we find out ultimately what his ultimate fate is. So
I'm protecting my dear Mimon.
And look here how it's red. So here it's red. Rumi's holding her, and Rumi's like, we're going to take you. I'm going to take you back. I'm going to take you back to Mima's room. I was like, oh no, she must be the one. She's the one. She's the one that's doing all this. And she's back, and she's in a fake room. So this is not her actual bedroom. This is a fake room that Rumi created for her. And she notices this when she sees the Cham poster. I don't know if I can find it, the frame of it.
Oh yeah, the Cham poster being back up. Yeah.
Yeah. And here we see, right here. See, she sees this, and okay, she's like, this is not my apartment. And then we meet Idol Mima. Except this Idol Mima is not from her own mind. This is Rumi. So Mima not only was going through shit, Rumi completely lost her fucking mind.
They both lost their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now she's like, you're the fake one. I have to get rid of you. And of course, before that, I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Before that, we find out that Rumi murdered, because she tries calling, Rumi murdered Tadakuro, the other manager, and she murdered Mimania. There he is. Same wound. The pick in the eye. The pick in the eye. So let's see right here. All right, she stabs her in the neck, or not in the neck, but she stabs her in like the upper
clavicle
chest
area.
Yeah, the clavicle area. This is crazy. So yeah, she's got that same weapon. She's like, I gotta get rid of you, and look at me. I'm so happy. He's right here, right before. Yep, there we go. Ow. But she manages to get up, knock her aside, and she tries to hang from the balcony, and she freaking falls. But here's where it gets weird.
Yeah.
How does she do
just play
that?
it for a few seconds.
Rumi just jumps, or like in her this artistically, Kon was having her glide and jump down really slowly, kind of like if Link has the glider from Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I brought Breath of the Wild. But look how she just lands like that. Like I'm trying to imagine real Rumi, a heavy set Rumi, middle-aged Rumi, just jumping down. Maybe she's so insane that she's fearless and is willing to jump at full gravity. But I just like how she lands like that. It's just like, okay. And then there's another moment where I found it really hard to believe that this was done by Rumi. Remember, like how she jumps over the catwalk?
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where Rumi jumps over the catwalk. I think maybe it's here.
On the catwalk.
Like this right here.
She shakes her little tush on the catwalk.
Yeah. And of course, Mima knocked the pick. I call
screwdriver.
It the ice pick, the screwdriver, out of her hand. So now she, like any good bad guy in a video game, she found another weapon to use against her, an umbrella. She's sticking with the pointy end. So she's chasing her, just skipping and gliding, and she manages to. They're fighting over this, and they fall off and hit a bunch of garbage bags. But then she's still being chased. She's like, "Oh God, help me!" Just like Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, and of course, like in Illinois, everybody in Japan are a bunch of dicks. Well, not everybody. Gray's awesome. You're awesome. Gray Wakizashi, you're awesome. But I don't think he's not in the city. So there you go. But I want to find the shot where. All right, so this is too far. I want to see the shot where we see Rumi's reflection.
Here we go. Yeah, just play from about here. You'll see. Yeah, that's really, really, really trippy.
Yes.
Massively trippy. Okay. Help me. No one wants to help me. So I got to keep running.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just gliding.
She gets stabbed again with right here. She gets stabbed right in the back or right in the side. So she's bleeding again. Where is that shot?
It's further in. It was past that, I believe, if I remember correctly. Here we go.
Here's a nice little menacing shot right here. This is kind of like right here. This also made me think of Halloween. So there's a moment in Halloween where Myers gets up for the last time and he starts strangling Jamie Lee Curtis. So what is so like right here? She's being strangled with the umbrella. So what did Jamie Lee Curtis do in the original Halloween? She rips off his mask, and he stops. Here, something similar happens. Not quite the same, but she takes off her wig. So Rumi is wearing a wig. And when she takes off her wig, Rumi just goes freaking ape shit. She starts freaking out like crazy, and she tries to pick up the wig, but she ends up accidentally impaling herself with the glass in the mirror, the shard that's sticking out right here, and we see a whole bunch of blood. So right here, ugh, right there, and you hear ugh. And then you get the blood come out. Come on, hurry up, shot. There we go.
And there it is.
Yeah. But and then she tries to commit suicide. She sees the lights of the truck. She sees the lights of the truck. And you know what she's thinking right now? She's like, I'm in front of the camera once again. And I'm basking in the glory. I'm basking in the glory of being a pop idol. And of course, instead of, in most movies like this, usually the villain dies. In this case, Mima actually saves her life. Mima saves her life from the truck, and they're both wounded and they collapse on the ground. And of course, that same truck driver that nearly hit them calls for help. And
he says, call the police. No, yeah, call the ambulance.
Yep, call the police, call the ambulance. There you go.
Same one from The Dream. Wow.
So, yep, same one from The Dream. So here we get one more scene. Okay, that's too far. So here we find out that Mima, so some time has passed. Mima is extremely confident and successful in her acting. So she is well known. She's wearing sunglasses. She has to be in disguise now. And she goes and sees Rumi at the mental hospital, and so she's talking to the doctor. He's surprised that she came back, and here we get two really telling shots right here. And I did not know this. I looked up a website that the website's linked below that explains like a lot of the choices in this and what we're seeing for Perfect Blue, but here. So Rumi is insane, and she's looking at the glass, and the glass, she can't see reality ahead of her. She only sees fantasy in front of her. And that's why, like, you see the shiny reflection, everything, because it doesn't, and we see, her younger self. She is seeing fantasy. So that's what's going on with her. That's the end of her arc. That she is insane. She's probably going to be like that for the rest of her life. We learn that, like in Psycho, her original Rumi personality is gone, and she is mostly Mima or whatever.
Yeah.
Mima. Kind of like how in Psycho, Norman Bates was no longer Norman Bates at the end of the movie. He was Mother. Same idea. So that's why Kon put the shot together like this. And then of course, Mima leaves, Mima leaves, and of course these two nurses recognize her, like, is that Mima? Is that me? No, that can't be Mima. Why would she be here? Yeah, why would she be there?
Well, she did say that it's because of her that she has become who she is now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's kind of a weird twist on it, and Chinatsky's got it right. Mima still can't let go of the idol part of herself, that part of her life.
That's
and
true.
what she sees in the mirror is what she sees as the real Mima. That's her. That's what she always wanted to be, and always in her mind will be.
So here, this is the very final shot of the film, and we see as opposed to Rumi, here's Mima looking ahead, and she's looking in behind her. Ahead of her, she sees reality, and behind her, she sees fantasy. You see how right here, you see the reflection right here. So so that part of her is behind her. So she has survived this. She has gotten past her own insecurities, and she's confident now. And you know what she says here? I'm real. This is real. And then it ends. And we get I'll be honest, I was listening the hell out of this final song. This final song, I've fallen in love with. I've been listening to it like all day today while I was putting together the plan in the stream. So yeah, this was a great fucking movie. I love this. This is a great movie. For a really dark movie with a lot of, like mind fucks and everything, it's got a very happy ending.
Surprisingly, it does. This is one that I should have seen a long time ago. It probably would have impacted me a lot more 20 years ago than it does now. I do like it. For me, I gave it an 8 out of 10, at least on first viewing. I need to watch it some more. But as I said, from a technical, you can definitely see the differences between how anime was done then versus how it's done now. And it's quite striking. And I love the old stuff. It is quite beautiful, but
me too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's really high on the list. And as I said, just looking at the various sites that I use, it's typically, well, let me take a look here. On my list, it's rated 17th highest rated of all time and 21st most popular of all time. So this one really has stood the test of time as far as a movie goes, a one-off. And as I said, a lot of Hitchcock elements to it. You can see the influences from American cinema, from Japanese cinema. You can see it. It's all there.
Yeah.
And it really, this is one I should have watched a long time ago. So I'm going to have to watch it again and again.
So, yeah. So for me, this movie is definitely a 9.5 out of 10. Just the expert editing, the expert misdirection, everything ultimately came together and most stuff came together and made sense. The whole Rumi gliding down still baffles me. The two Rumi issues I had still baffle me, and that's why it's 9.5 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. And there's probably a few other reasons too, but yeah, this I love Satoshi Kon's great. Once again, is a great anime filmmaker.
Yeah. And Madhouse was the studio that handled it, and
that's right.
They're of course legendary.
Yes,
really good.
And yeah, so would you watch Kon's other stuff like Millennium Actress or Tokyo Godfathers or Paprika or Paranoia Agent?
Yeah, I need to see the rest of his work before he passed. And looking at it, he ended up with pancreatic cancer, from what I saw.
Yeah, and
he got super quick.
Yeah, and he got diagnosed in May of 2010, and he was given 6 months to live. He only lived 5 months. So
yeah.
So once that happened, once he learned, I think, of his diagnosis, I think he just stopped working on Dream Machine and just spent the rest of his days just he went with family home. and just And the thing is, they could not. The producer kept promising that they were going to find another director to finish his work, and there's no one. Based on what I've read, no one could produce the level of quality or the style that Kon was known for. So he's one of a kind. He was a one of a kind, artist and director and everything.
Yep.
So
That he is.
yeah,
That
so,
he is.
But yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for me. And you said you gave it an 8 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8.
8.
I probably need to see it a few more times to fully grasp everything, because one time viewing, I think I got the most of the, but I know I missed a lot of other things. So yeah, it's going to be added into the rotation for fall. No. So yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's Perfect Blue, everybody, and it's a great movie. If you haven't watched it, check it out. And so Brandon, just gonna go and say what are your plans in the future? What's going on? What's going on with you? Are you got any videos you want to?
Well,
plug,
I did a short live stream today talking about the future of my channel and things that I'm wanting to do. Basically, I am smack dab in the middle of the fall season. I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I've got about 24 shows that I'm actively watching. So that's one thing that we definitely don't lack. We definitely don't lack any anime. Trying to figure out which ones are good and which ones are just the okay, or which ones are truly terrible. That's the job that I have taken upon myself with some others. So
one thing I noticed about anime today is that like anime is like 2 cents. They have titles that are like 2 sentences long. I'm like,
yeah,
if they run out of names, that's just, is that why? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. My bad.
No, part of it is I believe Blaine explained it to me as far as the why. But yes, the names of these, they have exploded from Perfect Blue, Ghost in the Shell, to I want to kill you, but I can't because I love you, but I hate you, I want you dead. Something like that.
There's really an anime called that? Like I've heard. Like,
no, I just pulled that. I just pulled that out of my ass. But here, let me read you a few of them just from this season.
You can share your screen if you want to.
Okay, I'll share the screen because this is. There we go. Bring that up. Here is my list of what I'm watching. This is all current season, with the exception of Uncle. They broke it into. It's Netflix. They're not putting out the rest of the season until winter. But I'm looking at it here. Let me actually make this a little bigger, a little easier to see. So, Management of Novice Alchemist. I really like that. Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. Haven't watched it yet, but it's on the list. The Little Lies We All Tell, on the list. Blue Lock, fairly short name. It's on the list. Raven of the Inner Palace. This is one that I think I'm probably gonna drop. It's set in China and it's a little out there for me. It's pretty and all that, but it doesn't talk to me like some of the others. Now here we go. I'm the villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. And when you watch the show, the description makes sense. Of course, Spy Family. You got to have Spy Family. Beast Tamer.
I've heard nothing but good things about Spy Family, to be honest.
It's worth it. It's so good. Beast Tamer, I've only seen the first episode. I need to see more. I liked the first episode. It was okay. Here we go. I've somehow gotten stronger when I improved my farm-related skills. I created a short from this. It's hilarious. I absolutely found it hilarious. I think you'd like it because it's so... All the dude wants to be is he just wants to be a farmer. And he's so being a farmer that his combat-related skills are so good that he throws a carrot at a dragon that a party of actual heroes is having a hell of a time trying to defeat. The carrot hits the dragon and explodes the dragon.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I got an idea now. Maybe Nosferatu will appreciate this. I came up with my own anime. I'm Nerdporial, and but Nosferatu calls me Godporial, so maybe I think I'm better than everybody else. That could be the name.
There you go. That would actually be a good title.
Please. This
is my favorite show returning for an actual second season. Uzaki wants to hang out. It's just a lot of fun.
Okay.
My hero. It's my hero. It's good. This one, my Master Has No Tail, is a little different. It's set in the 20s in Japan, and that's a really, really kind of awkward time for them. But it has some dealings with the Japanese lore and creatures from there. I like it, but I don't know if it's one that I'm going to love and keep going after the third episode. And then, of course, Yorase Yatsura. I friggin' Rumiko Takahashi is so damn good. This is so good. You must see it. This is a retelling. Basically, take the original show, give it some of the modern ways of doing animation, but having it still set in its original time frame, the 80s.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so good.
So is there any difference? Like, is it more more true to the manga, like some other adaptations, like Full Metal
I don't
Alchemist, for
know.
instance?
I've never seen the original.
And I think even
Here's the thing.
Basket's another one that was.
Yeah,
like
that's another one that's had
90s
multiple
one,
adaptations.
They made the 90s one, and I think the new one is supposed to be more true to the manga, to the source material.
Yeah, basically like with Hellsing Ultimate, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood. This, how can I describe it? It's just damn funny. And unlike, well, here's all I'm going to say. You got to watch this. Then I'm actually going to go watch the original one, the first few episodes of it, for the comparison. But from people that I follow on the in the Twatterverse that really, we're talking about, really love Rumiko and the work that she's done. They have come out and said that this is the best thing this season, period, hands down, end of story, because it basically is the original, still in the same setting. It maintains that look, but you can tell that the studio, which let's see who is doing this, the studio, David Production, never heard of them doing this one. But anyways, it's pretty, it's awesome, and as you can see, it's getting up there, and for me, it's a 9.5. Just one episode in, I friggin' love this show. It's hilarious. Okay, so here we go. Akiba Maid War. This one is a weird one. This one did not start off the way that I thought it was going to, and it definitely didn't end the way that I thought it was going to. I actually didn't think I'd like this one, but I do like it. Reincarnated as a sword so far is good. This season's the dude just wants to quit the guild. He doesn't want to do the fighting, the protecting of the town anymore. He just wants to go to college. But in this fantasy world that a lot like a Japanese RPG game, he gets the guild thinks that he needs to train people that have joined the guild. And every single one of them that joined the guild that he has to take out to become his replacement are females, attractive females, who can't do shit to keep themselves from getting into, let's just say, compromising positions. And this is another one of those shows that has both a censored and a uncensored version. And to be blunt, the uncensored version on here.
Oh, okay.
The Eminence of Shadow. I didn't think that I would like this one, but it's only 2 episodes in, but I like it. Basically, a guy in the real world, in our world, wants to be a badass shadow warrior type guy protecting people. He realizes that he has the toughest time just taking down an old army dude that decided to turn into a mercenary and kidnap some rich princess type person. He breaks under it, ends up getting killed in a auto wreck, gets reincarnated into this fantasy world where he still has his full memory of everything that he learned, and becomes the Eminence in Shadow. The pretty standard isekai fare in some ways, but I like it. Now this one's
The
just
Human Crazy University.
This one's just fucked up. Let's just put it that way. This is a motion manga, so it's a motion comic. Very, what's the proper word? There's not a lot of animation. But it works. It's the base premise of it is this guy is convicted of a crime, is set to be executed by being hanged, wakes up after being executed, and is told that he survived the execution, but because of how the laws are, since he survived it, he gets sent over to the Human Crazy University where they study him, and he's lost his memory, and he's in the process of regaining it and trying to figure it out. We come to find out that this guy has the worst possible. He has survived every single form of maniacal way of death, from smallpox to anthrax to a spearfish sticking through his neck.
Holy
It's
shit.
weird, but it is hilarious. I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Now, love flops. This one is probably going to be a flop because it's more of your standard harem action. You got your main character who he doesn't want to deal with girls. He doesn't care. But on his way to one day, he runs into these five and gets himself in uncompromising positions, grabbing things, touching things.
Things happen.
Getting slapped across the face. And at the end, the one girl says that she hates him, but she loves him, and has a Marilyn Monroe moment with no underwear. And from that point forward, I'm not sure what happens because we've only seen just the first episode. Chainsaw Man.
I've heard this one's pretty badass. Chainsaw Man.
I think it's overrated.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, it's good, but I think my expectations might have been set too high. I'm only one episode in. There's only just the one. The next episode airs in 12 hours. Yeah, there is an ass ton of horny ass anime. Last season it was Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. Same thing. Or a few seasons before that, but I think back in 2020, Redo of Healer. You want to talk about a show that you'll need to go and have a blip beaching mind scrubbing on? That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, El Hazard is the original isekai. But I think Chainsaw Man may have been overhyped. It's good, and I think Mappa is going to have the problem with the stylistic choices that they made in the animation style. But that's just me. And then, let's see, read the manga. No, I don't have the time to... I will collect the manga, but I don't want to read it. I'm only watching the anime. So all I know is the first one. From what I've been told, it gets better. But there are certain aspects about the main character that fit more into him being a whipped SJW pansy ass as opposed to a badass chainsaw man. But as I said, I'm going to be open-minded about it. We'll see. And then Shinobi no Itoki. So this kid, just an everyday kid, going about his life. Ninjas try to kill him. And come to find out that he is part of a clan of ninjas. There's about 6 or 7 other clans, and he is the next successor for his. And he has to go to basically shinobi school or ninja school. And throughout the thing, he gets protected and learns about his family, and he completely freaks the hell out that there's ninjas and that someone's trying to kill him. Yeah. So I basically right now, as it stands today, my absolute favorite is absolutely Yuresi Yatsura. By far. I like the villainous. I love Spy Family. The first episode, this was just too damn funny. So I'm hoping that it keeps it up, because if they do, it's going to be hilarious. Uzaki-chan, same deal. I love the show. My Hero, it's My Hero. You can't go wrong. I want to get into Mobile Suit Gundam for winter or for December, but with everything else I've got here, as you can see, I've only, since I was gone last week, these are the only ones I've been fully caught back up on. I still got to get caught up on this one. The next episode for it isn't going to air for a few days, but all these other ones that have little red, I'm an episode or two behind.
I'm wondering if I should watch the original Urusei Yatsura first, or if I should just go ahead and watch this one. This new one.
Watch them both.
Watch them both.
Let's see if I can type it right. I always have a problem typing this one. It's always a little difficult. Let's see.
Okay, I've heard of Dirty Pair. Yeah, Hot Babes. And
I love the Dirty Pair.
Yeah, from I think it was Gynax that did that. Or no, that's Gunbuster. Sorry, I forget who did.
They're actually supposed to be doing they're the company that actually holds the right to it. They're doing a redub or an actual dub for the original TV series that never got dubbed by the original voices that did the dubbings for the OVAs and the updated series. So here we go. The original series, the OVA, the new series, movie. So that's the original art style.
Yeah.
Very 80s, and you can tell. But it's also very Romiko Takahashi. This is her first one. This is the forerunner to Ranma, the forerunner to Inuyasha. And actually,
I have some of the songs. I think I have some of the songs on my in my iTunes from this.
Let me find one thing. There was one thing that Shinatsky sent that was really, really cool. Let me find it and play it, because we should be able to play it without a problem. Maybe... Oh, no. Where to go? Oh, who actually sent it to me? Was it... Of course I can't find it when I need to find it. Let me go back here a bit. Nope. No. Damn it, I should have linked it. Oh, please pardon me for just 1 second while my brain tries to catch up here. No, it wasn't him. Should be. No, that's Cyber City. No. Where did it get sent to? Oh, that's right. It wasn't in messages. It's actually on my timeline. All right, hold on just 1 second. Let me find it here. Yes, that's the one. The 50th anniversary crossover. That's what I'm looking for. Come on, find it.
I've been meaning to watch Inuyasha, because I remember how popular it was when I first got into anime, especially in the early 2000s. But I still, to this day, have not gotten around to watching Inuyasha. And I know they ended, like, I know it went off for a while, and then they came out with the final chapter, and then they finally ended the story. So I've been meaning to watch it. I just never got around to it. The last anime I watched in its entirety was Yu Yu Hakusho a few months ago.
I'm only 10 episodes into it, so
I can't. It gets so good, like episode 15, or when they get to when they get to the tournament arc, the dark tournament arc, it's so good after that.
There we go. I think I found it. Nope, is that it? No. Shinatsky, what was it called again? I'm having a very tough time trying to find it, and I feel like an ass not being able to find it. There we go. Let's see if that's it. Go back to Twitter here. Go back to the Twatterverse. Thank you. Let me share this here, because this is quite good. Get the volume turned up. Make sure it's in high def. Stop sharing this screen and share the new screen with you. Sure, audio is good. There we go. Okay, so this is Yoretsu Yatsura. It's a Rumic World 50th Anniversary Weekly Shonen Sunday.
Oh, right. I'm a guy.
All right, the other guy is the one from Yurase Yatsura, who is tasked with saving the world by trying to catch Lum. And the only thing on his mind is girls, wanting to get married to one specifically. But then as soon as he says, basically as soon as he proposes to her, he literally turns when another chick walks by and is like, boobies. A very, very hyper horny 17, 18-year-old Japanese kid.
Yeah.
And there she is. There's Lum.
Well, she got some fangs. Hey, Inuyasha.
I just noticed it,
Wow.
but you can see the 3.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh, the little dirty old man.
Oh, you had in Sailor Moon, you had Ray's grandfather. You had Roshi in Dragon Ball. Yeah, you have to have the dirty old man in these
Yep.
shows.
And this one's got it.
生きがけの出し入れ退治してやるぜ。
ほら犬やっちゃあんた何考えてんのよ。
She looks like Ray from Sailor Moon.
どこの受選鏡に落ちたのか知らねえが。
Which one of the cursed springs did you fall into? It didn't quite work for you. So Pichon, mother, and then oh damn, what's her name? Oh, crap, the Chinese. Oh, my brain just died. But anyways, if you've never seen Ranma, let me do a brief explanation. During his travels in China, there is a spring of sorrows, basically, and each pool has a certain sorrow. If you fall into it, something happens. For Ranma, his sorrow is he fell into a pool that a girl drowned into, so whenever he's splashed with cold water, he turns into a she. And to change back, he has to be splashed with hot. Well, his dad fell into one that he becomes a panda. His combatant buddy, or his combatant nemesis, turns into Pichon the pig. And then, what's the... God dang it, I can't remember. But anyways, she's also a love interest that absolutely loves Ranma, and he doesn't want anything to do with her. You got to watch it. You'll understand it.
その姿、ずいぶん中途半端な覚え方をしたもんだな。お前、俺の声に似てんな。
Your voice sounds a lot like mine.
Urusei Yatsura. Yeah.
Let's see, Urusei Yatsura.
Yatsura,
That's
okay.
that's the name of the new show. That
Now I
was
gotta watch
Rumiko's
Inuyasha.
first one. And now, of course, Ranma gets splashed with water, so now he's back to being the pretty rare pigtailed red-haired girl.
Oh, that's okay. That's why. That's why he said he was a guy. I was like, why is he saying he's a guy?
Yep, that's why.
君はこっちの姿の方が。君も素敵だね。ねえねえ、名前はなんていうの？メルアドは3サイズ。
ミルク様の子孫？
What are you 3
様
sizes?
の目の前でカゴメを口説くとはいい度胸だな。お、みんな仲良くしようよね。
Wow, wow.
わあ、待て、でもセーブだ。
浮気は許さなきゃ。
Oh no. Oh no, what's going to happen? Okay.
ガン触りまくりやがって。
Oh no.
獅子方向弾もっと高飛車。
Oh no. He's in a world of hurt right now. And lost a car too.
逃がすか。
She's embarrassed. I love
And now
the
the
I
fourth
just
wall
love
breaking.
the teardrop. I love the teardrop look.
Yeah,
You always
I
the
do
nose,
too.
The nosebleed for the arousal. Then you have the teardrop for the being embarrassed and stuff. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to definitely.
というわけで「週刊少年サンデー」創刊50周年記念みんなが集まる素敵なパーティー
That's this year, 50th anniversary, 2022.
I don't think it was. I don't know that was. Wouldn't surprise me. It'd probably be about right. But yeah, that's it's a good one. That's worth the share.
Now I gotta do, and I have to watch those shows now. I'm more interested now. Can I watch? Are they on a platform?
Oh yeah, your usual
Hulu,
suspects. Although,
Crunchyroll?
let's see here. Ranma is only on Funimation still.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the original.
I thought Ranma was on Hulu. I'll have to double check Hulu. I know they
Yeah,
took a whole
it's
bunch
on
of shit
Hulu.
off. Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I still have Hulu.
So definitely watch the old Urasura, watch the new one, watch Ranma, watch Inuyasha. You can't go wrong with any of them. As a Rumiko, there's a reason why she has made the most money and has sold the most copies out of anybody in manga, period. She's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I'll keep that in mind. All right.
So, yeah.
Well,
That's what I'm doing.
all right. But thanks for sharing all that. That was the longest plug I've ever encountered. So, but yeah, for me, I'm doing 2 serial horror chats this week. Thursday, I am doing one on The Howling from 1981. That's the Joe Dante werewolf film. I'm doing that with Fanzine. So Thursday night, I'm doing that. And Friday is the juicy one. Friday evening, I'm going to be doing John Carpenter's The Thing with not just one guest, but with 2 guests, Salty Texas Sea and Snowdub. So
Nice.
those are my guests for that one. So that's gonna be what I'm doing this week. So I have the next 2 days. I have the next 2 days off. I'm gonna be on Runner Blaze's channel tomorrow, talking about Halloween Ends and how that movie sucked. And that's it. And Wednesday, I think I have nothing to do, so I'll have to figure something out. So
Nice.
but yeah, so,
that'll be a good one. The Thing's a good movie. That's one of the few that I really, really like. Really is that good.
Oh, I totally agree. But once again, everybody, Shadnatsky, I do want to have you on for future anime streams. I might even copy your idea. I might even have him talk anime with me that he already talked with you. So, but yeah, Shadnatsky, you're awesome. I want to have you on. Thank you for being on. Peter Venkman, thank you for coming on. Dempsey, who else? Well, Nosferatu is always awesome. Alex Moore, I think this was your first time on the channel. Thank you so much for coming out. I'd love to see you again in the future. And I don't know who else was here. We had Salty was on earlier. Gray was on. Wakizashi. Pacific 414 was here. Zax was here. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of people come into this one, so that's pretty cool. And Tim
we had a
Stock
packed
was
house.
on. Yeah, we had pretty good. So Zombie Main. Thanks. Yeah, Zombie Main. 70 million what? 70 million. 70 million what? Oh.
Well, let's see. For Rumiko, from what I remember seeing, let me see if I can find it real quick. That's probably what he's referring to there. She's won all sorts of awards, lifetime awards. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, the number that sticks out is the number of volumes, or the number of sales that she's had over the years is like 200 million. It's a ton.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Wow. So that's okay. All right, that makes sense. So I already think it's been 2 hours, so it's time to close the stream. So once again, Brandon, chat, thank you guys for taking part. This was a great thing. And there's going to be so much editing I'm going to have to do to this because I accidentally showed too much.
Boobies!
And not just boobies.
Well, you could do what was
thing.
suggested. You could just place a flaccid phoenix over certain parts. Probably pull that off.
A flaccid phoenix. I don't even know how you could do that from YouTube, though. That's the thing. Like, only thing
you'd probably have to take it down, re-edit it, and then repost it. Yeah, I don't think. Well, it's been a while since I played with their editor. Figure it out. But thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun, and yeah, it's this was a different show, and I'm glad I finally saw it. So,
you mean movie? Different movie?
Yeah, show, movie. Yeah, I'm glad I saw it. So, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem, everybody. Thank you for once again. I said thank you again how many times now, but thank you for coming out, and I'll see you guys again this week. It could be, like I said, I'm going to be busy. So, everybody, take care. Stay incorporeal, and may the wings and incorporeals carry you. Well, carry you to the next serial horror chat. So, without further ado, I'm going to show my opening one last time. Everybody, take care. Have a good night.
See you, everybody.
We are approaching that time of year again. A time of great exhilaration, a time of great pleasure, a time of great fear. The darker sides of all crave that latter delight from themselves, but even more so from others. To satiate that hunger, our dark selves take note, interest, and entertainment in tales of the macabre that appeal to our deepest fears as only mortals face. The only way to achieve this is to begin the dark ritual where Nerdporial and a special guest will discuss a particular tale during this season to ward off pure evil, as well as to entertain and to educate. I humbly welcome you to the Serial Horror Chat.